tell us what's the process been like? What have you gone through so far?
It's been fun, just getting here. Most of these guys I already know a lot of the specialists, so we've already built a relationship. Yesterday we got to kick a little bit, get the legs loose, stretching out. It's just been an overall great experience, so can't complain.
The question we ask every Georgia guy, coming back to where you won your national title,
Yep.
When did it hit you? What did you see? What's the memories?
Just walking in the Lucas Oil, it's been unreal getting to see it again, knowing that we were here a couple years ago, getting to win a national championship, and now I'm back here for the Combine, so it's just surreal.
What's the life of a kicker this week? How many teams do you get to talk to?
So we actually get to talk to all the special teams coordinators now. At the Reese Senior Bowl, they weren't there, so we didn't get to talk to them. So this is the first time that we get to, dive in with them of what their team's looking for, what they are looking for, what we may be able to provide for them. And so that's been really interesting to hear from them. Some teams obviously might not be interested in a kicker, but we're still talking to them, getting to, have that experience. So it's pretty fun.
How important was that Senior Bowl experience for you as a jumping off point for your pre-draft process?
I mean, it was overall great experience. I got to be around guys that I hadn't met before, and for me, it was just getting in front of scouts. Getting in front of scouts that hadn't seen me before, getting in front of head coaches, GMs, you name it. So.
Jack, you said there, and I'm bringing it up because obviously it's relevant now, but you got to room with Warren, and you were explaining to me how that was important. You have that opportunity, the connectedness. Right. Can you just share that experience and what the takeaway was from that time you got to have with Warren there?
Yeah, and I mean, I explained to you is everything happens for a reason, right? So for me, that was just rooming with Warren, getting to be there for him, getting to talk to him, and sometimes it was about life, sometimes it was about how the field workouts were going for him, just what was going on in his head. So for me, that was just being there for him. If he wanted to dive into anything, I was there for him, and then if he didn't, I didn't care. It is what it is. So.
Is there anything in this pre-draft process that you think we need to show teams that they should use a roster spot on you?
For me, it's just consistency. I think that's what teams look for overall with kickers, and just to show that I can be consistent day in and day out is big for me.
Will you do any of the drills? Do they do,
Not me.
40
Jake Camarda set the standard pretty high last year at like a 4.58 for a 40, so I'm going to pass out on that. I'm not going to do it.
So they don't care about your bench press, squats, all that stuff?
Not exactly, no. Thank goodness for that.
Will you run a 40 at Georgia?
No. So.
Jake kind of ruined it for everybody.
Yeah,
right?
he did. I mean, he just put the bar way up here, and now we're going to fail every time.
As far as we ask guys their favorite memories, I guess I go back to the 53-yard field goal. Can you still, how much of that do you remember, or do you not, because there's just been so many?
Yeah, no, I mean, I can tell you probably the week leading up to it. I can tell you that day, getting into the locker room, not having any time for warm-ups for that day. I remember specifically, we went down to the other side of the field to warm up, and the refs kicked us off. They're like, no, you got to go to the other side. I mean, I could tell you some very specific things. So that memory is engraved in my head, most definitely.
How confident were you that JT was going to be able to lead the team? I mean, that was such a flat offensive performance until the fourth quarter. Were you standing on the sideline thinking the whole time, this is coming down to me? Did you realize it?
I don't think I realized in the moment just yet. I think right when we got the ball, it was our long snapper pat me on the butt and saying, hey, go get ready. And I was like, what? But no, I mean, in that moment, I was confident in JT. I had seen him do it all year, so.
There's more than 40 guys here this week. You played high school ball in the state of Georgia, or went to a college in Georgia.
Okay.
What do you think about just the culture of the state and why it represents so many outstanding football players?
I mean, I think Georgia's got the best football, no matter. There's no doubt about it. I think that there's just this culture of, you're raised on it. For me, though, that wasn't it. I was, soccer player growing up, didn't play till senior year. So, I mean, that even speaks for itself, I think, of just getting into it so late and still being able to have an opportunity to play at the best level there is. So.
You mentioned Jake. Have you talked to him throughout this process about what your expectations should be?
Oh, yeah. I talk to him. I mean, I probably talk to him 4 to 5 times a week. We'll hop on a FaceTime, and we may speak for 10 minutes. We may speak for 45 minutes. You name it. And he helps me out with anything. So I talked to him throughout the season about stuff that I needed to, and I talked to him recently about what's going to go on this week. What do I need to prepare myself for? What do I Like, what I need to rub off my shoulder if, I don't need to expect anything. So.
What's the biggest piece of advice you think he's given you that you've taken from him I guess during y'all's time together at Georgia and here through this process?
To have fun. Everyone's so serious. It's like, dude, just relax, have fun. Like, you get to experience this once and once only. And then throughout the season, it's just be driven, be motivated. You're going to have some bad days, you're going to have some good days. Just take it with stride and keep going.
From a guy who was on both teams, which national championship team was better, 21 or 22?
I don't think there was one team that was better. I think everyone separated themselves, and it was a bit different teams. Some of the leadership style was different. I think this past team was more of we're going to play by example, versus the previous team was we're gonna be vocal, we're gonna talk about it. So I think just each team was different. I don't think there was a better team.
Looking ahead, what's kind of your perspective on the kicking competition going into this year, the Circle and Peyton Woodring coming in? Those guys?
Yeah, for me, competition breeds success. And so I think these guys, there's going to be a fair competition. I think Zirkle, is going to compete his butt off this spring, and so he's going to work hard. I think Peyton Woodring coming in, he's going to give, Zirkle a good run for his money, and I think at the end of the day, they're going to make the right decision.
Have you met with any special teams coordinators yet, or what's the plan in terms of that process?
Yes, so we have formal and informal interviews. We had them last night and the night before, and so we kind of were just at a round table going through, and they were asking questions, just firing it off, kind of like speed dating. So, yeah, almost everybody.
Jack, do you think the new football building was part of the dynamic of a couple of years ago in terms of what it did for the team? Obviously you study people, you watch people closely. What was your thoughts about the effect of that $81 million?
I'm sure it helped. You see guys like Tom Brady or LeBron James, they spend millions and millions of dollars on their body, and that's exactly what UGA did for us. They spent millions and millions of dollars on our body. We get, a new weight room, we get a new locker room, we get the new therapy, ice tubs and hot tubs. So I think that definitely played a role in it.
More guys around the building maybe taking advantage than previously?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, there's guys that, would normally leave at 6 p.m. after practice, and now they're in there till 8 p.m. So.
Jack, several of your former teammates have been arrested for speeding, racing, alcohol issues. Is that a problem for Georgia football? Is there an issue there?
I don't think so. I think, I can speak on those guys' character, and those guys' character to me is they're the best person in the room. They've always been an upright guy to me. They've always been nice to me. They've always treated me with respect, and so that's what I can speak on. And I think that Georgia football is trying to, keep that going and keep the generations growing. So.
Yesterday, Nolan said his takeaway slogan from Georgia was hard work works. Do you have one that kind of sticks with you for your process there?
For me, it was just keep my head down. It was keep my head down during practice, but besides that, when it was outside of football, it wasn't keeping my head down, it was getting to know the guys, because those are moments that I'm going to cherish forever. That's five long years, but 5 fun years. I got to go in with Coach Smart being there, and then additions like Coach Cochran, and then just seeing, the new guys coming in and then the guys leaving, getting to build those relationships for me was just an unbelievable experience.
How would you describe Coach Cochran's role, since he came back from his leave? What does he do on a daily basis with the specialists?
For him, so the way I describe his relationship with me to actually special teams coordinators and anyone that'll listen is he's the guy that first cared about me outside of football. He's the guy that you want to go sit down in his room and talk to him, about life, about whatever's going on. And so that for me was huge because I'd never experienced that in football before. It was just all about practice, all about the games, and for him, what's going on, that was huge for me. So that's how I would describe it.
How does Kirby build the mental toughness? I've heard some of these head coaches will make the team run if the field goal kicker makes it and misses it. Was there any type of motivational ploys that he would use to try to build you, make you mentally tough in practices?
There's stuff like that. There's, they're definitely, like right now, it's called dog time, and right now they're doing 5 a.m., 6 a.m. runs right now. So that's something that I would say they're mentally prepared for. But I think the huge thing about that is Drew Brannon, our sports psychologist. And I think that, he was iffy about it my freshman, sophomore year, and then he just saw that there's so many gains by it that it'd be stupid not to, hire him on a full contract. And so I think that's been the number one thing.
Nolan also said yesterday that his, coming to UGA moment was being a freshman, getting like breaking his nose during those fall, early spring camp practices. He still remembers that. Was there a moment for you that's kind of like, all right, this is big time, a little different than playing soccer in high school?
I'm trying to think. There's definitely been things here and there, maybe nothing like too specific. I just remember like walking on, I remember getting there the first day and just kind of like looking up and being like, I'm actually playing with guys that are like looking at Jordan Davis and being like, this can't be real. Like what? So.
What was Jordan's role? I'm reflecting on him now. We're doing kind of Mount Rushmore exercises, and just how integral was he to that 2021 team? I guess I hear during workouts he was a guy that kind of kept everybody going. What was it about him?
Yeah, you could say that. You could say he's the glue of the team. For me, after every field goal, no matter a make or a miss, he was the guy that gave me a hug. So for that, he's someone that was there for me all the time. It didn't matter about, my performance. So for him, I'd say that he was just that guy. He was the one that was there, always there for you no matter what. You could go and talk to him if you needed to. So he was just a great dude.
Who would you say the glue guy this past year was?
I'd probably say Nolan. He kind of took it and run with it. He kind of had to. It was, make or break. He was out, he wasn't playing, and so he was like, well, what can I do with this? And that's what he did. He was the glue.
What do you expect from Brett Thorson in year 2? And does he have the same sense of humor around the complex as he does on social media?
Oh, without a doubt, he definitely does. And you could probably go talk to wherever he's at, Corsac, the Australian that's here, and he's probably got the same sense of humor as he does. Brett's going to have a great year, I think, this upcoming year. I think he's going to build on his numbers this past year. I think he's learned a lot being at Georgia. Hopefully learned some stuff from me about, just getting in there. But I think he's just going to have a phenomenal year.
What are you doing the rest of the day?
Sleeping. No, I'll probably do some recovery. Hoping to go watch the linebacker and D-line workouts. So hopefully I can get in there. And then besides that, just hanging out, getting some recovery because tomorrow's our kick day.
Jack, did you finish your master's? I'm trying to recall.
Finishing up my master's now in public health. Yeah, so I haven't finished it yet, but it's almost there.
What is
Our drills? So punters will go first, and then we'll do kickoffs, and then we'll do field goals. I think we'll hit about 15 field goals a piece, and I think kickoff-wise, we'll probably hit 9. We'll go just hit a big ball, and then we'll go directional left, directional right.
What is the support system like among UGA guys? You're kind of broken up by position, but you all get to see each other a lot, talk to each other a lot. Among the guys who are here, what's kind of the support like?
From being here, I've seen a few of the guys in passing, but they have us so split up with position groups that I haven't been able to talk to them for long. I've been trying to catch some of the guys that got in here late, like Warren. I ran into Darnell last night and got to talk to him for a little bit, but besides that, we've been very separated.
What distances you can get from your head?
So I think the farthest that we'll go back to tomorrow, I want to say is like 60 or 58. I don't think they're going to test our distance too much, but I think it's just going to show off, if you have that range.
Again, you said it's all about the consistency.
Exactly, yeah.
Everyone's trying to work, like I said, to